He said, pray as you see me pray. Utter these words that you hear me say. Based on the Sunnah, worship Him, just follow Him.
Assalamu alaikum. New class coming to you every Monday and Wednesday, taught by Ustad Layla Nashiba, the Fiqh of Prayer. Every Monday and Wednesday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Inshallah, we'll see you there. Streaming on all major platforms. Channel Sunnahfollowers.
The Muqasid Tafsir.
Where should I begin when I'm starting at the end? Pursuing the higher aim, learning the meaning of every page. Where should I begin when I'm starting at the end?
Assalamu alaikum. Sunnahfollowers presents a new class, the Muqasid of Tafsir, being taught and brought to you by Ustada Layla Nashiba. Please stay tuned, streaming on all major platforms, right here on Channel Sunnahfollowers.
You will make it through. The fitra is awake in you. With Quran and Sunnah by your side, here's a place where it will thrive. You will make it through. You will make it through. The fitra is awake in you. With Quran and Sunnah on his side, here's a place where it will thrive. You will make it through. With Quran and Sunnah on his side, here's a place where it will thrive. You will make it through. He said, pray as you see me pray. Utter these words that you hear. His names, we need to know about them, how to apply them, ponder the meanings behind them.
New class alert! Sunnahfollowers presents the names of Allah. Please join us every Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard with Sister Samar, streaming on all major platforms, right here, Channel Sunnahfollowers. Assalamu alaikum. Get to know your Lord. First part of the Right Belief series by Sheikh Karim Abu Zaid. This dynamic literary work of art's main goal is to revive an understanding the names and attributes of Allah. And understanding the name and attributes of Allah will elevate our faith, strengthen us and keep us steadfast. This wonderful book is now available in an audiobook format and can be found free of charge on YouTube, channel Karim Abu Zaid. Get to know your Lord. You have nothing to lose.
Okay. Ina alhamdulillah wa salat wa salam ala wa rasulullah. I apologize This was supposed to be Brother Hanif's class, but evidently something's come up because he's never late. That's one thing about Brother Hanif. He's always a stickler for time. If anything, he'll come in early. And plus, we can't reach him. He's usually reachable. So either something's come up, and let's keep him in our door in supplication. I mean. Because this is not like him. But alhamdulillah, so that's okay. What we're going to do, I've always got to be professional. I always have myself as a backup. Oh, yeah. I'm the backup whenever something happens. This is supposed to be my free day where I don't have to teach. I just stream. But while we're doing this, let me remind everybody of the classes that the next class we have, Dr. Ibrahim Jamali. You guys want to make sure that you're here for his class because he's going to be continuing with explanation of the meaning of Surah At-Tawbah, okay? And he's going to cover the verses, the next verses today, beginning with verse number 8. Verse number 8. All right, so make sure you guys are here. That class is at 9, and Dr. Jamali will be here, and we'll be reviewing that. And that class of his, I'm gonna be honest. You guys know since Dr. Jamali was sick, and had his stroke, a lot of you say you don't understand him. That's because he had that stroke. But mashallah, with this class he's teaching, his In the Shade of the Quran class, he takes his time. And he speaks more slowly. And my God, and I can tell that you guys are understanding him better because of the hits that his shorts are getting. I've got a lot of hits on his shorts. A lot of you have left good comments about it. That's what Dr. Jamali's specialty is, the science of the Quran and the science of the Hadith. Those are his specialties. And like I told you guys, this is what happens with Shaitan. A lot of you guys ask me questions about Shaitan. A lot of you ask me questions about the jinn and all this. Like I tell you, the Ifrit. Who are the Ifrit? The Ifrit, they are the most strongest and most dangerous of the jinn. The Ifrit, they're the ones that go out and cause the most problems. They're the ones that try to destroy marriages. Oh, yeah. The Ifrit try to destroy friendships, relationships. They try to turn us against each other and make us hate each other and fight and kill and slander. Those are what the Ifrits do. They come out at night. That's that hadith where the prophet says, when the sun sets at Maghrib, when Maghrib comes, close your doors, bring the children in the house, put a cover over the food, because that's when the most dangers of the jinn come out at night. And they try to cause problems between husbands and wives and friendships and all of that. Okay? And I tell you guys, Iblis himself, he don't waste his time on you, me, the average peasant. Iblis, he doesn't personally attack you like that. Your personal jinn is an agent of Iblis. Your personal jinn and the Ifrit take care of that. Now, what Iblis concerns himself with are the true people of knowledge. Iblis doesn't waste his time on you or me. We're nothing. He tries to take down the true scholars, the true people of knowledge. He'll attack them in different ways to destroy their brain, to prevent them from instilling the true message of Islam. And subhanAllah, Paul Jamali's been tested. When he came here to America 20-some years ago, Jamali came here to call the people to the Quran and the Sunnah with the understanding of the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Jamali, he sat in the company of the real scholars of Islam, Sheikh Uthaymeen, Sheikh bin Baz, Sheikh Albani. He's old school. And when he came to America, he had a lot to offer the American-speaking people. His dawah was really great. And then what happened? Here comes Iblis. attacking him, like just like Iblis attacked Prophet Job. You know, he took away his health, you know, and that's what happened. You know, Jamali was fighting, was almost dying. He almost, in fact, he did die. He died and was revived several times. And so, alhamdulillah, through the supplication of everyone, after the power of Allah, you know, Allah preserved him. He's here. He's still living. But, you know, some of the effects, you know, the effects of the type of sickness, you know, memory loss. And that's a shame, you know, because Dr. Jamali has so much knowledge, so much understanding of this deen. He studied, you know, sat in the presence of scholars all his life, and he took it even further. Not only did he sit in the presence and learn the correct way, that way, from the real scholars, he also went to universities too. And unlike a lot of these famous personalities today who are making us look bad, you know, he not only continued and got PhDs in Islam, in the science of Quran, in the science of Hadith, but he also has a PhD in the science in and of itself too. So he was the prime target. These are the type of people that Iblis focus on. He don't care about people like us. He focuses on the real scholars like that to try to stand in the way of their dawah. You know, so, you know, alhamdulillah, Jamali's still here, but that's why his speech is like that. A lot of you leave me comments saying, oh my God, it sounds like what he's saying is so good, but I don't understand. That's why I keep the captions on. That's why I have the captions on, so that might help you guys when you're reading Dr. Jamali's lectures. I put the captions on so that'll help you, you know. And he's been taking his time to slow down. He slows down, and he'll have somebody read for him in the English, like he has Anissa reading. And Anissa, you better not go to sleep today. And by the way, remind me to have a backup in case she do. Okay. He'll have somebody, you know, I got old ladies in here who are sickly too. So I got to have a backup. You know, so he'll have somebody read, you know, for him. So try to, you know, give, you know, read the captions. But alhamdulillah, his shorts about marriage, about the rights of women, the rights of husbands, the rights of wives, the rights of children have become very popular. And so that class will continue tonight at 9 p.m. So just make sure y'all are here, okay, for that. It will be continuing with the surah, beginning with verse 8. The surah that we went over the last time. Yeah, it grows on you. Like Goldie say, the more you listen to Jamali, you get to understand him more. And like she said, she was one of his, was a part of his community. And she's used to listening to him now. You know, like me, he grows on me too. I can understand, except when he gets excited, because he's a person of passion. When he gets to talking excitedly, I don't understand him then. But when he slows down like this, I can get him. Yeah. All right. So that's what a little, you know, thing about that. So that class will be tonight. I wasn't prepared for this class today, but the last time we met, we're covering pages 4 through 6 of this book, Know Your Lord. And let me put that little thing up here for those of you who have not yet purchased the book. Tonight we'll be covering pages 4 through 6. These are for the people that have the book. I'm sorry. Those of you who have the book, what colors I got on today? I'm trying to stay color coordinated. Yeah, Know Your Lord. Pages 4 to 6. The book, it can be purchased on Amazon. The book is only $14. For those of you who have not yet purchased the book, get it. The book is written by Sheikh Kareem Abu Zaid. A lot of people ask me, why do I use the pictures of the brothers? Because especially in 2024, where we have all these famous people, famous celebrities and personalities, anybody can make a YouTube channel and call themselves Sheikh sheikha, scholar, a mufti, muftia, and a talk about Islam. So you need to know who you're taking your knowledge of this religion from. So this is Sheikh Kareem Abu Zayd. That's how he looks. You guys are probably familiar with him. Okay. I'm teaching all of his books, inshallah. I'm doing this, his Aqidah series is part of the curriculum here of Sunnahfollowers. Buy the all three books. And I'm also doing his Maqasidic Tafsir series. And by the way, that class will be on Tuesday. I did put some shorts up on YouTube. Y'all haven't seen them? I will give you a quiz over what we discussed about the different types of interpretations of the Quran. Y'all need to go to my YouTube channel, click on shorts, and look at the videos I put up 2 days ago about from the Maqasidic Tafsir class. I break down the analytical approach. I made a short of it. I also broke down the thematic approach, how the interpreters of the Quran implement the thematic approach and make it Maqasidic. Those shorts that I put out about 5 of them up. That was going to be the 5 questions for the quiz. There that hand is again. That's going to be the 5 questions for the quiz on Tuesday. So y'all need to look at the shorts. The shorts are only 40 seconds. Y'all tell me that y'all like me to put shorts out of my lectures. Well, what I'm going to start doing is basing the quiz off the short to make sure you watch the short. So those 5 shorts will be the 5 questions for Tuesday, because I'm explaining the analytical interpretation approach, the thematic interpretation or approach, and I also talk about the comparative approach. Check out the shorts. They're also on Facebook too. Y'all didn't see them. And I also put the shorts up from, and I see y'all saw them, the shorts from Brother Youssef, his class yesterday on the history of Islam. He talked about Nasir, the President Nasir, Jamal Nasser. I keep saying Nasir, my grandson's name is Nasir. Nasser, Jamal Nasser, and how he tried to stop the Zionists. He was the only Arabic nation. Egypt was the only Arabic nation at that time that tried to stop the Zionists from taking over Palestine, Jerusalem. Eventually, the king of Saudi Arabia jumped in and helped. But y'all can see that Jordan did not help. The country Jordan, King Hussein, he sided against. This is the problem with Muslims. Like I say, we learn the history of Islam. You see that everything repeats itself. The King Hussein of Jordan turned against Nasser, sided with, because of the money. It's all about the fulus. Sided with the Zionists against the Arabs, the Muslims. And you saw Egypt by itself. Egypt by itself, trying to fight against the Zionists to try to keep control of Jerusalem, which was their land anyway. And they ended up getting the support of Russia because America got involved, and America, again, play the games they do. So those shorts are posted up on YouTube under the shorts section. So make sure y'all check that out. Go to the YouTube channel. Also subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Okay? Maybe we can get more donations. We're not in the dawah for the money here at Sunnahfollowers. But my God, we need it. I mean, right now, guys, thank you for the donations we got yesterday. And your donations paid a couple of the bills that came out over this weekend, meaning the streaming programs. Because I was using 2 streaming programs. The other one is $300, and then this one. So thanks to the donations you guys have sent these past couple of days, we paid for that. But we're back down to not having but maybe $70 in our account. And we got our monthly expenses are $2,000. This is just the 7. There's other bills that's going to come out. The phone bill for the website, the Zoom room for the website, the SEO program I use, okay, the video program I use, the short program I use, the program I use to put the pictures in. I mean, we pay for all this by the month. So please support us, guys. I am desperate for your donations to support this website. Think of the blessings you're getting. Whatever reward Allah has given us here at Sunnahfollowers, it's going to you. Whatever reward any Muslim around the world gets from watching any of our videos, it goes to you, because it wouldn't be possible. Please support us, because we're not affiliated with a mosque. We're not affiliated with nothing. We're a non-profit organization. We are an online Islamic university, free of charge. That's why the other ones charge money, because it costs money to run a website. But see, I'm not charging. I want y'all to donate for the sake of Allah. So please, you can donate using Zelle. We prefer Zelle because Zelle is safe. The money goes from your account to our account. Plus, the IRS keeps track of that for us. Okay? Plus, they don't charge no money. Okay? Or you can use Cash App, Sunnahfollowers. Or you can use PayPal. PayPal and Cash App charge a fee, but that's okay. We need whatever we can get. So please support us. We need the big. And by the way, we need some big bucks too. On all of us, we're housewives. We're women that sit at home. We don't have no money. A lot of us women are single. We ain't got no main. Ain't no main. That ain't my main. Okay. So we put our little retirement money and our little Social Security money into the website, but it ain't enough. We need help. So for those of you who can't afford to give more, please. And remember, by us being nonprofits, you can write us off at the end of the year. Oh, yeah. Tax write-off. Mm-hmm. All right. So that's that little speech. I'm just going to see. Yeah, the brother's definitely, he must be, but he wouldn't have came in. I was talking a little more in case he had him. Okay, so please check out the shorts that's on the YouTube channel. And also, please donate. And now let's get to this class. I'm going to put the PowerPoint up on the screen. And I'm going to start us off by reviewing, because we had a quiz the last time we met for this class to cover the preface and the introduction to this book, Know Your Lord. And I'm just going to put the PowerPoint up to review that. And then we're going to speak about a very important topic. I like how Kareem Abu Zayd starts this book off. Before you learn anything, you have to know your Lord, learn about Allah. Knowledge of Allah comes before that other stuff, like Arabic. Too many new shahadas are telling me that they think that Islam is about learning how to speak Arabic. You can speak all the Arabic in the world. That ain't going to save you from the hellfire. I keep telling y'all, 30% of the Arabs are not Muslim. They're Christian. 30% of the Arabic world is not Muslim. They're Christian. They speak Arabic. You think that's going to save them from going to hell? They still worship Jesus. Okay, so Arabic is not a religion. It's a language. And as I've talked about in my prayer class, the only Arabic that Allah says any of us have to know how to speak is Al-Fatiha, because there is no prayer without Al-Fatiha, and you need to learn the Tashahhud. That's it. You ain't got to learn no other Arabic. And that's what we're going to focus on. Let me put the PowerPoint up. Oh, and by the way, know your Lord. Yeah. Like I said, I didn't plan this class today. So let me put it up here. The PowerPoint, I got to set it up. Oh, and let me close this up. Hold on. Close that up. I'm getting ready to do it now. Inshallah. This is it. You should be able to see. Wait a minute. Share it. Okay. I was going to say, why the thing? Oh, let me put this down too. Hold on, people. Got it. All right. Y'all see that, right? So today we're going to be covering pages 4 through 6. We're going to speak about how knowledge of Allah should come before even the knowledge of the Quran. You have to know about Allah, because how are you going to believe his words? How? Because the Quran is not the creation of Allah. The Quran, these are the words of Allah. You have to know about Allah and believe in him first. Otherwise, you're not going to believe anything that you read. And the last time we met, we talked about, this was the quiz. Let me go past it. We talked about how knowledge of Allah can only be obtained from where? Let's see if you all can remember that answer. If I want to know about Allah, what do I have to read to learn about him? Where can I find knowledge of Allah from? Can y'all remember? Anyone remembers?
Revelation to the Hadith and the Quran, whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us about himself.
Exactly. Knowledge of Allah can only be obtained from his books, his revelations, from him. Good job. And we also talked about how if we want to study or learn about Allah, what is it that we study that will teach us about him? If I want to know about Allah, I want to learn about him, what do I have to study that will teach me about him?
His names and attributes.
Good job. We have to study his names, study his attributes. Good job. This is just review. Okay. And we talked about how the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us that whatever brings us close to paradise and close to Allah, Allah has told us about it. And whatever will move us away from him and take us to hell, he has explained that too. This hadith is so important because as a Muslim, a true believing Muslim, you have to understand that Allah didn't forget anything. Allah didn't make no mistakes, that our religion is complete. The laws that Allah created for us and put in effect for us are for all time. They don't need to be tweaked. That's what we talked about. Because this is a big problem that we have today with a lot of Muslims thinking that they can tweak the laws of Allah. That Allah's laws can be divided into layers. And those layers can be divided into two categories, either the essential laws that we have to abide by and the non-essentials that we can change. This is some man-made Mutazilite garbage. We can't do that. Like Allah says, whatever brings you close to paradise, I've told you of it. What's going to take you to hell, I've explained it. And one of the things that Allah has explained to us all is anyone who thinks that they can change Allah's laws or tweak them to suit their desires, this is a person that will end up in hell. He explained that his laws are not to be tweaked. So we have to understand these important things about Allah. And also, we talked about how as Muslims living in the year 2020, we have to be so careful because there's a lot of Muslims that call themselves teaching Islam, calling us to Allah, calling us to the true Islam. but they're leading us to the hellfire. And we talked about how there are two deficiencies that we see in the callers of today. Number one, either they don't have the correct knowledge and understanding of a law. For example, they don't accept Allah's attributes. They don't believe that Allah is the creator of good and evil. They don't believe in Allah's decree. They think they can tweak Allah's laws, that they can change Allah's laws to accommodate society. These are examples of not having the correct knowledge and understanding of this deen. Or they have the correct knowledge, they have the correct understanding, but their conduct is wrong. Let me give you an example. A lot of Muslims don't understand that who were the biggest opponents, the worst opponents against the Prophet? Not the Quraysh, the hypocrites. The hypocrites. As the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said in many hadiths, Bukhari and Muslim, the hypocrites, they're the worst because the simple fact that they claim to believe La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah, that means that their life, their honor, their property is sacred. So we can't do anything to them. They long as they come out and are publicly praying, performing their prayers, dressing the part, talking the part, we can't do nothing to them. Okay? They were the worst that the Prophet had to deal with, the hypocrites. And that's why Allah said, be harsh with them. Only thing we can do is be harsh with them. Like Allah says, you know, we can call them out. We can call them out. We can expose them. We can, if they're publicly doing hypocritical things, you know, we can attack them, okay, but we can't do anything else to them, okay? That this is a big problem. There's a lot of people today who testify to La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah, but their actions are bad. Their actions are bad. This is the problem. They're hanging around with bad people. Would the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam be seen hanging around with people who support ideologies that contradict Islam? Would the Prophet even allow that? Seriously. Can y'all see the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam or Umar radiallahu anha or any of the companions marching, holding up signs, advocating same-sex marriage? Imagine that. Can you imagine the Prophet Muhammad and his wives and all the companions walking with people who have sex with the same sex, who drink, who fornicate, who lie? Can you see him marching with them? Oh no. Allah tells us in the Quran we can't even sit in the company of people who do evil. We're not even supposed to sit in their company. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us, be careful who you choose to be your friend, because you will take on the religion of them. The companions didn't hang out with weak, hypocritical people. And they definitely didn't hang out with sinful unbelievers. Okay? So this is what we see with the du'at or the people of the dawah today. And it's bad. So now we're going to get to the class. These are things that we talked about the last time we met. Now let's get to the class. And I want you guys to take out your books. Turn to page 4. We're covering pages 4 through 6. And Sheikh Kareem Abu-Zayd starts us off by telling us that the title that he chose for this book is Know Your Lord. And he tells us that there are two key words in this title. And this is what type of approach is this, guys? When we're talking about keywords and titles, what tafsir approach is this? Or what interpretational approach is this, guys?
It's either literary or analytical.
It's called analytical, not literary. This is the analytical approach. Okay, as you can see, Kareem Abu-Zayd uses the analytical approach too, just like I do. Okay, so he tells us he chose the title Know Your Lord. And this title has two key words. Know. What does know mean? You break down the meaning of it. And then the other word, which is the object, Lord. What is Lord? Who is Lord? And he goes on to tell us the verb know. What does know mean? This word refers to seeking knowledge, seeking it and acquiring it through reading and studying. This means to apply the first command the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam received from the angel Jibril to yourself, which is to read in the name of your Lord. Remember that? And if one is unable to read, you can still attain the knowledge of Allah through being attentive to one whose character exemplifies him. Remember the hadith of Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, when one of the companions, I think it was Qatada, it was Qatada. He asked her, he said, tell me about the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his character. And she asked him, did you ever read the Quran? He said, of course. She said his character was exactly that of the Quran. Okay? So for people who can't read, because many of the Arabs were illiterate, they couldn't read. Even Aisha couldn't read, for those of you who don't know. The only wife of the Prophet that could read was Hafsa. May Allah be pleased with her. She was educated in reading and writing. The rest of the wives couldn't read or write. Okay? So if you can't read, then you attach yourself to people who have good character, whose actions, whose behavior exemplifies the Quran, and whose words that come out of their mouth exemplify that. Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, was the Prophet Muhammad's student. Not only was she his wife, but she was also his best student. Even though she couldn't read, even though she couldn't write, she became one of the best scholars of all time. She had over 300 students. And one of her students, Asma, she was the teacher of Imam Malik. Hello, write that down in your history books. Imam Malik learned directly from Asma, who was a direct student of Aisha. May Allah be pleased with her. That's why people favor Imam Malik a lot too. Okay? And again, listen to what Allah says in the interpretation of the meaning. It is not but a revelation revealed, taught to him by one intense in strength, the angel Jibril. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam could not read, just like his wife. He could not read. He could not write. But how did he learn the Quran and its meaning? Through one great in character. And who was that entity great in character? The angel Jibril. That's why I tell you guys, every one of us as Muslims should have a teacher. I should be able to ask you, who's your teacher? And you tell me. And all you need is one teacher, not 2, 3, or 4. The Prophet Muhammad didn't have 4 teachers. He didn't have 2 teachers. He had one teacher, the angel Jibril, because let's get it real. We're humans. Too many teachers will end up messing you up because everybody teaches differently. You'll get all confused and mixed up. You need one teacher at a time. That's what I had. When I was a kid, my first teacher was Mukhtar's father and his wife, Imam Mutawif and his wife. They were my first teachers. Imam Mutawif taught me through his wife. Okay, the same way Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, taught the women through the Prophet. Okay, from the Prophet. Then when I got older, my second teacher, after them, my second teacher was Carter Dari. Then when Carter Dari got into some trouble, he was replaced with Umar el-Ashkar. Okay? Then when the stuff started getting heavy with that too, they recommended and brought in the teacher I have today, Abu Atayib. I didn't have all these teachers at one time. That confuses you because everybody teaches differently. The Prophet Muhammad didn't learn the religion from Jibril and Michael and Israfil. He had one teacher. That's the problem today. Too many of you are twisted in your thinking because y'all sitting on the internet, hopping around, listening to speakers who are not even teachers. Okay? You can't sit around listening to all these different people talk about Islam because they come from different methodologies. Most of the people talking about Islam, they're either to the extreme right or the extreme left. Either they're radical extremists telling you that everything's haram and you going to hell, or they're the Mutazila saying everything's permissible and we can change the laws. Find somebody who is a true person of knowledge, who bases everything he or she say on the Quran and Sunnah with the understanding of the companions, and stick with that person. My teacher right now, because my other teachers are dead. Carter Dari's dead. I tell y'all, the real scholars are gone. They're dead. Carter Dari's dead. Umar al-Ashkar's dead. Just like Albani's gone. All of them are gone, but Abu Tayyib is left. That's my teacher. And he'll stay my teacher, inshallah, for as long as Allah keep him on this earth. Ameen. Okay? So you learn. If you cannot read, if you cannot write, or in the cases of the Muslims today, you don't have understanding of this deen, then you learn it from a person who does have understanding of the deen, whose character exemplifies the Quran. I am a walking, talking Sheikh Morsi. For those of you, who know, the people who know Abu Atayib, they'll look at me and say, she is his student. I'm just like, that passion I have is the same passion Abu Atayib has. I might have it a little bit more because I'm a woman. Women are more emotional. The way I stick to the hadiths is the way Abu Atayib does. The way I throw in the history is what he do. I get angry when I hear people lie on Allah, lie on the Prophet. Abu Atayib gets angry. He's a calm man. But tell him, say to Abu Atayib that you can change the laws of Allah and divide them into categories to accommodate today's society. Watch him turn into a lion on you. That little bitty short man will turn into a ferocious lion. Okay? That's how the Prophet was too, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Prophet Muhammad, he was no chump. But if you violated, like Aisha radiallahu anha said, he had the character of the Quran. He didn't go around holding personal grudges against people. She said he never sought revenge for himself when people did wrong to him, but he would turn into a ferocious lion if anyone transgressed the laws of Allah, or if anyone transgressed his companions. That's how we all are. That's how we are all supposed to be. Like Allah says in the Quran, gentle with the believers, harsh with those who transgress Allah's limits. That's how Abu Tayyib, my teacher, is. That's how I am. That's how the Prophet Muhammad was. That's how Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, was. We women kind of beef it up, though. Aisha beefed it up too. We're more emotional, okay? So, seeking knowledge of Allah, guys, is the priority for all of us as Muslims. It's not about learning about Arabic and all that other stuff. The object, your Lord, refers to Allah. We had a sister ask the question. I get that a lot from new converts. Is it haram to say Lord? Because these famous celebrity brothers on the internet, they're answering questions about Islam and they ain't qualified. But they're telling you that if you use the word Lord, you're imitating the kafir. How ridiculous. That's language. That's not an action. Lord is a word. It refers to Allah, the divine Lord of all mankind, all jinn, all creation, the Lord of Prophet Abraham. As Allah says in the interpretation of the meaning, Allah created you and that which you do. Subhanallah. Y'all understand? So this is why Sheikh Kareem Abu Zayd says he chose this title, Know Your Lord, because this is the first command that Allah gave to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And this is the first thing that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the first message he conveyed to us, get to know your Lord. And we have to understand when we learn about Allah, and that's the problem. A lot of Muslims today, we're born Muslim. Most of us are born into Islam. The companions were converts. But most of us are born into Islam. And we take Islam for granted. We take Allah for granted. We grow up not learning anything about our belief system. We grow up not learning anything about our identity as Muslims. So a lot of the born Muslims don't understand the concept of what it means to believe in Allah. Well, that concept includes understanding that Allah facilitates everything that we do. What does that mean? That means nothing happens. Nothing happens unless Allah wills it. Y'all understand? When you don't even become born in this world unless Allah allows it. When that egg is in the woman's womb, and if Allah decides that he doesn't want that egg to go any further, he tells the angel that's assigned to the womb to leave, and the woman will abort it. She'll abort that embryo. And then when the soul is blown into the womb, the fetus, if Allah wills, he'll let that angel stay attached to it, caring for it in the womb. But if Allah doesn't want that fetus to come in this world, he'll tell that angel to leave, and the woman will abort that fetus too. So Allah facilitates everything we do. He's in control. The power belongs to him. And he began his revelation in the Quran with the command for us to read and to learn. To read what? To read about him, to learn about him. So the first subject mentioned after the command to learn is knowledge of him. As he says, the one who created us and facilitates for us our ability to do all things. Y'all understand that? This is a basic of Aqidah. This is the basic of believing La ilaha illallah. People ask you, what do you mean when you say you believe in Allah? When you say you believe in God, what does that mean? Well, first of all, it means that I believe that nothing happens unless Allah wills it. And everything we do because Allah willed it. And again, Allah willed for us to learn about him. This is what he willed for us to do. He said, recite in the name of your Lord who created man from a clinging substance. Recite, and your Lord is the most generous, who taught by the pen, taught man that which man knew not. This is another thing. We got a lot of Muslims today that don't believe in taking medicine. Oh yeah, they in my Zoom room too. Everything is a conspiracy. Do you think that the white man is trying to give women hysterectomies because they're trying to annihilate the black race? This type of garbage. Knowledge of technology comes from Allah. If a woman has a hysterectomy, it means something's wrong. They don't just give you a hysterectomy just because they try to wipe out the black race. We got to stop thinking like that. That's ignorance. You have a hysterectomy because something's wrong with you. Allah has given man knowledge and technology that can tell if a woman has fibroids, if a woman has cancer of the cervix. And they just don't give you a hysterectomy. That's against the law. They don't do that. They have to run tests to make sure that there's no treatment, because there's treatment for that. Remember, Allah taught man what man knew not. Knowledge comes from Allah. When the COVID came out, disease comes from Allah. Okay? But Allah says, I never send a disease. I never send a sickness without sending a treatment behind it. A year after the COVID came out, the people had a treatment, not a cure. The booster shots were the treatment that Allah promises. Allah promises us that in the Quran. He said, know that disease and sickness come from me. But know that out of my mercy, I never send a disease. I never send a sickness without sending a treatment. So take the treatment and maybe I'll send a cure. These are the words of Allah. How many Muslims got the COVID shot? None of them, hardly. Only a few. It's a conspiracy from the white man. It's a conspiracy from Israel. Israel's going to plant bugs in us so that they can monitor us like you somebody important. Israel could care less about you. You ain't nobody. You too ignorant. That type of thinking shows that you the last person anybody would want to put anything in, because you're not educated. You're stupid. Okay? The treatment comes from Allah. Allah says, who taught by the pen, taught man that which man knew not. We have to stop giving the power to the white man. We have to stop giving the power to Israel. And instead, understand the power lies with your Lord, Allah. Y'all understand that? Now do y'all see why the first thing we should learn is about Allah? Because if we understand the importance of learning about Allah, then you wouldn't succumb to this dunya nonsense. Okay? Listen to what one of the early scholars said, Ibn Taymiyyah. He said, since Allah is the Lord of everything, and he is the master and giver of all knowledge, just as he is the origin of everything that exists, likewise, knowledge of him is the root of all knowledge. How can you excel in anything if you don't believe in Allah? This is why the Prophet Muhammad, I got into it with one of the Arabic sisters here. One of the Arabic sisters was giving praise to the scientists like Sigmund Freud and Einstein. And I had to remind her, what about the hadith of the Prophet? The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, never give titles of respect and honor to a kafir. Because if that kafir was deserving of that title of respect, he would believe in Allah. Sigmund Freud was a pervert. Einstein was a fool. Yeah, they had some knowledge. Allah says here, he teaches man what man knows not. But with all that literary knowledge, with all that secular knowledge that Einstein and these kafirs had, they were stupid. They still didn't understand that Allah is Allah. That's what that hadith means. Allah gives knowledge to whoever he will. Okay? Secular knowledge. But how can anyone, the root of all knowledge is knowledge of him. Until you believe in Allah, until you understand that he is the creator of all, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. Okay? Also, whoever knows Allah knows everything other than him. Whoever is ignorant of his Lord is even more ignorant of everything other than him. That's the problem with Muslims today. Why is it, a person asked me just today, why is it, Sister Layla, that most Muslims just won't take their medicine? A sister called me on the phone this morning, woke me up. She said her husband was in the hospital. He had a stroke because he refuses to take his high blood pressure pills. She said, my husband has high blood pressure. She said, I cannot make him take his pills. He thinks that they're killing him. He thinks that those high blood pressure pills is America's way of killing off Muslims. So he thinks that taking black seed, he takes black seed and honey and mix it together, and he'll drink that. He'll drink black seed and honey. And he even orders Zamzam water. He drinks Zamzam water, black seed and honey, and refuses to take his blood pressure pills. So now he done had a stroke. And he's knocking on Allah's door. Okay? Knocking on the door. This is ignorance. Why is it that Muslims won't take their medicine? Because they're ignorant of Allah. Like this says, whoever is ignorant of Allah is even more ignorant of everything else. This man doesn't understand that all you can drink honey and black seed and Zamzam water. If that was the cure for high blood pressure, it would have been wiped out centuries ago. That's how ignorant this man is. He has to believe in Allah. He has to understand that everything comes from Allah. Knowledge comes from Allah. Sickness comes from Allah. And also Allah sends the treatment. So like Allah said in the Quran, take my treatment. And if he died, Allah is going to ask him. The angels are going to ask you when you die, why did you kill yourself? You will say, I didn't kill myself. They'll say, why didn't you take your high blood pressure pills? Didn't Allah say in the Quran that he sends sickness, but he never sends a sickness without a treatment? So take the treatment that he has sent. You didn't listen to Allah. You put the power in the white man, so you killed yourself. You thought drinking honey. Where did Allah say that the only treatment that he sends is black seed and honey? Black seed and honey was the treatment for back then. Technology changes. They didn't have high blood pressure pills back in the 7th and 6th century. We got it now. The angels are going to have this conversation with us. The angels will have this conversation with us when we die. So we got to learn about Allah. If we understood the importance of learning about Allah, then we would do what Allah commands us to do. And we wouldn't go around thinking that everybody is out to get us. We'd understand that if all the creation were to come together to harm you, they wouldn't be able to touch a hair on your head, unless Allah willed it. We'd understand that. Also, Imam Bukhari, may Allah be pleased with him, scholar of Hadith, also early scholar. This is why when he put his collection of Hadiths together, he began his collection with the book of Revelation. And then he follows it up with chapters on faith and knowledge. Okay? You have to learn about Allah first. You have to know how to crawl before you walk. You have to learn about Allah first and believe in him. Then when you read his words, when you read his book, the words will make sense to you. Does everybody understand? How many people read the Quran all the time and they still commit sin? They say, oh, this don't help me. I don't understand nothing here. How can you understand the Quran if you don't believe in Allah the way you should? If your belief in Allah is twisted. So Sheikh Kareem Abu Zayd lets us know that his aim is to inspire every Muslim to embark on the journey of seeking knowledge of Islam and seeking knowledge of what the correct belief system is, particularly the things that allow us to know about Allah and know about the hereafter, know about paradise and hell and what's going to take us there. Also, he reiterates, knowing about Allah precedes the Quran. Knowing our Lord inspires. If you know about Allah, guys, it will inspire you to obey him. Why do these people not take medicine? Because they don't know about Allah. They don't know that Allah said, I send the sickness, but I always send the treatment. Black seed and honey was the treatment in the 6th century. In the 6th century, how did they treat a stomach ache? They'd take honey. Humans have changed since the 6th century. Our diet is not the same. What worked in the 6th century don't work today. Let me give you an example. Give me some honey. I love honey. If I take even a teaspoon of honey, it's going to cause me to have irritable bowel syndrome, because the way we eat today is not like they ate back in the 6th century. Black seed is nothing here. Nothing here. Okay? Because we don't have those type of illnesses. Our bodies are different. Oh Lord, we have progressed. We have progressed as humans. And that's why Allah has given us better treatments. Now, when you got a stomach ache, we got Pepto-Bismol. Oh, yeah. Pepto-Bismol works good for Layla. My stomach started hurting. I started getting that irritable bowel going on. Hey. I'll DoorDash me a bottle of Pepto-Bismol, take a tablespoon, and I'm good in 15 minutes. They didn't have Pepto-Bismol back in those days. So they drank honey. Okay? High blood pressure. Black seed ain't gonna help that. You better take that medicine that Allah gave us knowledge of, or you're gonna be just like that man, stroked out in a coma, induced with black honey and Zamzam water and black seed. So, knowing about Allah, exactly as Sister Goldie said, we got different bacterias. We got all type of gut bacteria today that they didn't have back in the 6th century. Their diet wasn't like ours. They didn't eat all this processed stuff that we have. The bacteria that exists today didn't exist then. The germs that exist today didn't exist then. Even the insects we got today weren't even around back then. Everything evolves. We've evolved. That's how Allah created us. We evolve. Okay? So knowing about Allah will inspire you to obey him. It will inspire you to take his medicine. His medicine that he sent to us. Okay? And also, when you know about Allah, that's how you can give dawah. That's how you can call others. A lot of misinformation on the internet today about Islam. I was listening to some young boy who's in trouble again in the United Kingdom. You know, some video they got of him going around where he's again talking about Islam. But he's not basing anything he's saying on what the Prophet said or the companions. He's basing everything he says on Ibn Taymiyyah. Ibn Taymiyyah was one of the early scholars of Islam, but he was not a prophet. He was not one of the original companions, nor was he of the 2nd or 3rd generation of companions. This young brother sitting there talking with his little hijab on, you know, we can talk about that in another class. What's up with you brothers wearing hijabs? Y'all think that makes y'all, gives y'all a piety look? What's up with you young brothers with these hijabs on? That's what it is. I don't know where y'all get that from. That ain't the Somali dress. That's not part of Somalia. The Somali men are handsome. They don't walk around with hijabs on. Okay? I don't know what that is. That ain't no gutra. You know, you men got to stop emulating women. Just like the women are emulating men today, the young men are emulating women. And I guess that hijab look, they put this hijab on, that's supposed to be the look of piety. I'm sorry, piety is in the heart. Piety is not in your appearance because you got a hijab on, a new styled hijab on, and you speaking like a woman. And I'm going to be honest, these brothers sound like women with their soft voices. That ain't piety. Man up. Let's talk about it. Where are the men? I need a soldier. Where they at? Where they at? You brothers got to stop being women. Man up. Take them hijabs off. Okay? Take them shades off too. You ain't no celebrity. And make your voices like the Prophet. Just so y'all know, the Prophet Muhammad did not have a soft voice. Whoever told y'all that told y'all a lie. The description of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam can be found in Bukhari. The Prophet Muhammad spoke in a loud voice, a loud, hoarse voice. He did not speak like this. He did not speak like a female. And he never wore a hijab. He wore turbans, but he didn't wear no hijab. Okay, well, I was listening to this young brother, you know, who's always in the news because he always puts his foot in his mouth. Okay, he think he a scholar, I guess, because he went to some school in Medina. We ain't even got to talk about Medina today. He put his foot in his mouth again, sitting there making all these statements. How are you calling people to Islam when you're oppressing women. The statement he was making was once again about women. These brothers, they don't understand the Sunnah. They don't know nothing about the Prophet Muhammad's wives, nothing about the female companions, nothing about the history of Islam, nothing about how the women looked, dressed, lived in the 6th century. He's sitting there issuing a fatwa telling Muslim women that they're never supposed to be seen. You know, we can never be attractive. You know, you can never, dressing attractively is bringing unnecessary attention. Who said that? Then he quotes Ibn Taymiyyah. You get out of here. You get out of here. Just like you don't know anything about the Prophet and his companions, you don't know about Ibn Taymiyyah either. People lie on Ibn Taymiyyah every day. Okay? So if we learn about Allah, know about him, then we will be able to call the people to Islam in its truthfulness instead of running them away, instead of making Islam look ugly to the people. You will be able to show the true beauty of it. Okay? Also, the following things confirm that every Muslim must understand the basics of Islam before even in beginning to learn how to read in Arabic or speak Arabic. And I like how Kareem did this. He put all this evidence to support this. He said there are 6 branches of faith. Y'all should know them. As Muslims, we have to believe in Allah, that he's the only one worthy of worship. Also believe in his angels, believe in his books, believe in his prophets, the day of judgment, and his decree. Allah didn't mention anything about Arabic. Arabic is not a tenet of faith. Okay? The first article is Allah, to believe in him. And in order to believe in him, you got to learn about him. That's how the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught the companions. We have the hadith of Ibn Abdullah. He said, we were with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and we were strong young men. So we learned about belief before we learned the Quran. Then we learned the Quran. And when we learned the Quran, then our faith increased. Y'all see that? This is an authentic hadith. The companions didn't start off learning how to speak Arabic and learning how to read with tajweed. They learned about Allah. The Prophet Muhammad taught them about Allah. Taught them what I'm teaching you guys. Tawheed. Tawheed. Also, Ibn Amir says, a man came to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and said, O Prophet of Allah, I recite the Quran, but I don't find my heart understanding it. And the Prophet said, don't you know? Faith is in the heart. And faith is given to a person before the Quran. In other words, of course, it's not going to impact your heart because you don't believe in Allah yet. You got to fill your heart with true belief in Allah. And then when you read the Quran, it'll make sense. This young famous brother that I'm speaking about, this famous young brother, Somalian, he memorized the Quran by heart like all Somalians do. My Somalian students all know the Quran too by heart. They memorize the Quran by heart. He can recite it beautifully, but he still don't know. He still don't understand that only Allah has the authority to make things unlawful, not you. He still don't understand with all that Quran, that if you're going to say that something is haram for a person, you have to bring not a quote from Ibn Taymiyyah, not a quote from Sheikh so-and-so, but you have to bring the evidence from another verse of the Quran or what the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said. So that's an example. You can learn all the Quran you want to, but if you have no understanding of your purpose in life, no understanding that Allah is what he says he is, all that Quran ain't gonna be of no value to you, like these young brothers today. And this is also why Ibn Taymiyyah, that's why I'm using Ibn Taymiyyah, that's also why Ibn Taymiyyah said, the more the heart learns and the more the heart believes and practices what Allah and his prophet have commanded, then the more a person's faith will increase, even if that person has a general adherence and a general verbal confession. Also, if someone knows Allah's names as well as their meanings and believes in them, his faith will be more perfect than that of someone who does not know but believes in them generally. So the more a person knows, learns, and knows Allah's names and attributes and verses, then he'll have the most perfect faith. And I put Ibn Taymiyyah's quotes here because I get so sick and tired of these young brothers today calling themselves upon the Salafiyya Dawah. All they do is quote Ibn Taymiyyah, and you don't know nothing about him. Just like you don't know anything about those companions. Y'all misquote him all the time. Just like people right now are misquoting Umar, may Allah be pleased with him, saying that Umar changed the laws of Allah when Umar never changed any of Allah's laws. You slander him, you lie on him. Okay? So, these were the first 4 pages of chapter 1. I want you guys to review it. So when we meet for this class tomorrow, I'm going to cover pages, probably from pages 6 to pages 8. Pages 6 to 8. I'm going to take you guys on a journey to help all of us, to reacquaint all of us with the law. And hopefully all of us will have a better understanding of him. And in turn, our understanding of this religion will increase and become better as well. So I'm going to stop right here. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Any questions or comments? Brother Omar, like I'm saying, this is the new style. A lot of these brothers, they called it, I mean, there's nothing in Islam that forbids any of this. You know, you can put a bag on. But my thing is, this is supposed to be the look of piety of today. You know, like the prophet said, we'll imitate the Kafirs, the Jews, and the Christians. So the brothers are wearing hijabs and putting scarves around their necks to look like a woman. Oh, yeah, sign of the times. They think that's the piety look. That's the new look of piety. Let's resemble a woman with a hijab and cover our neck and ear, and let's make our voices soft. That's why I'm telling y'all, the gender roles haven't reversed. Men are becoming women. Women are becoming men. It's one of the signs of the last hour. All those signs of the war are here. That's why I tell y'all, this war is a war against Islam that Allah sent. Because all the signs are here. The men are more female. And they're cowards. They're cowards. Yeah. Any other questions, comments? Okay, the next class is Dr. Dramali, guys. He's going to be continuing with those verses about spousal rights, the rights of women, men, children. So make sure you guys are here at 9 p.m. in 1 hour. It's time for me to pray, ain't it? Yeah, looks like my grip. Plus, I want to go get me a coffee. And by the way, guys, please support this Dawah effort. We're desperately in need of donations. Oh, this is Saturday. Starbucks stay open to 9:30, right? Yeah, this is Saturday. I keep thinking this is Sunday, that the Starbucks close early. Okay, yeah, I got time. But yeah, so what was I saying? I don't even know what I was saying. I'm thinking about how I want my coffee. All right, so I'm going to close right now, guys. I'll be back at 9:30, inshallah. Please check out the shorts on this YouTube channel. Click on the tab that says shorts. The shorts I put out about the Mecca-Hasidic Tafsir. I'm going to base my quiz off of that. And also look at the shorts of Brother Youssef. And by the way, the book, Dr. McBride's book is available for you to download. I put the link to his website under the community tab. You can go to drmcbride.com and you can buy the book, and it'll be printed out as a PDF. And that way you can print that out and use it with your family members who are Christian to try to call them to Islam. Okay? All right. So I'm going to log out for right now, but I'll be back at 9 with Dr. Jamali. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Please support us. We need your donations to get these bills paid for this month. Assalamu alaikum.